They come from around the world. They are the strong, the fit, the men and the women that keep us safe. They are firefighters, and they're here today to compete in the toughest 2 minutes in sports and to see who will be crowned world champion.
From the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower in Las Vegas, Nevada, it is the Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge, World Challenge 22. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Ramsey alongside my partner, Maria Prekagis. And Maria, unlike the individuals, the relay is a whole different ballgame.
It is totally different. We like to say it's 1/5 the work and 5 times the fun. 3 to 5 competitors from each relay. They basically pick the section they excel at, and boy, does it get crazy.
Now let's bring in the third member of our team, Dr. Paul Davis. He created the Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge. Paul, why the relays?
So we were wondering, what's the fastest possible time a human could do on the Firefighter Combat Challenge? So if you went all out on each one of the segments, added those together, you'd have about 1 minute, 5 seconds. And that's how we started the relay. Basically, 5 guys performing each event as fast as they possibly could.
Let's take a look at how these relay teams got here. The top 64 teams competed and then got it down to the Sweet 16. Here are highlights of the Sweet 16 relay runs. And in our first heat, we have Kamloops on the blue course against Mr. Restore on the red.
That's Kamloops, British Columbia against Farmers Branch, Texas.
Kamloops has some championship blood on this team, and as you see, as they work through the course, it's pretty neck and neck.
Yes, it is, Bob. You know, this is really comes down to just not making mistakes.
And here we go, neck and neck down the course. Kamloops with a slight lead. Next up, U.S. AFA on the blue course, Lambton on the red.
That's United States Air Force Academy, a perennial favorite in the relays.
They've done very well almost every year, and a nice lead coming out on Lambton.
Well, and these guys from Lambton are basically the dark horses. We haven't seen these guys before.
So out of nowhere, they've made their way through to get this far and really challenging the Air Force Academy. And what a run.
Yeah.
1:12.10. Up next on the blue course, it's Carlsbad versus Hamilton on the red.
You know, Bob, we've been to Carlsbad, New Mexico 7 times. This is the first time that they've had a team playing at a national level.
Well, they've arrived now, and this is quite a match.
These guys are for real. Hamilton's been at it a lot longer as a competitive team.
And will that experience show through? Hamilton on the red, a couple of steps behind. Here comes Carlsbad. They've got a lead. Can they be caught?
0.3 of a second.
Now we have Ori on the blue course versus, that should be SoFlo, because there is nothing slow about SoFlo. This team is good.
Yes, they are. But Horry County is better. They've had the better time all week. That's from Horry County, South Carolina.
Well, we'll see if it holds up. Mistakes are critical. And here they roar through it.
Yeah, opening up the lead.
Yeah, Ori is doing a very nice job. And again, without a mistake, they're going to be hard to catch.
Keep in mind, Bob, times are unimportant. It's who finishes first.
And we'll see who finishes first between Oakville and Montgomery.
Montgomery was our U.S. national champion. Turned in some really good times. Not necessarily representative of what's going on here at this moment, however.
Oakville on the blue, Montgomery on the red. And you see Oakville, nice lead, very smooth. And that's what you're looking for, smoothness, no stutters, no stumbles.
You cannot afford to make a mistake. It's just that simple.
And no mistakes for Oakville.
She coasted in for the win.
1:15.90 for Oakville. When we return, the top 8 relay teams will face off. The Scott Firefighter World Challenge 22 is brought to you by Scott Safety, a Tyco business, protecting what matters most. Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada. We're ready for action from the relay teams, but before we get to that, you know, Paul, this couldn't happen without our sponsor, Scott Safety.
Jeff Emery is the marketing director for Scott Safety. And Jeff, it is called the Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge. For 20 of the 22 years, you have been the presenting sponsor. Why this event?
Well, Scott Safety is the world's leading supplier of self-contained breathing apparatus, which is the mask that you see firefighters wearing each and every day. So it's a natural fit for us, but more than that, Scott is a safety company, and there is a direct tie between firefighter fitness and safety. So that's why we're proud to have been behind this for the last 20 years.
Well, we thank you, and remember, it is called the Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge for a reason.
Thanks, Maria. Now let's take a look at the top 8 relay teams. And in this heat, it's Europe versus Kamloops, and like the Ryder Cup, it's Europe versus everyone else in the Firefighter Combat Challenge.
You know, this is our 7th year in Berlin, and the Combat Challenge has taken off in Europe, Bob.
But this is a true all-star team.
Yes, it is. We got guys from France, Poland, Slovenia, and Germany against Kamloops, British Columbia.
And you can see they're almost stroke for stroke up the rope. Now, coming out, Team Europe gets the lead down the stairs.
Well, these guys are truly invested in this game, as you will see. The only way you can tell them apart is the Gallet helmets that the Europeans are wearing here.
Kamloops trying to catch up. You got to be very careful not to get in a hurry, because that's when you make mistakes. Team Europe still rolling, and I mean making great progress.
As I say, it's the time is unimportant. It's who finishes first.
Quite a lead for Team Europe.
Now look at this.
Look at Kamloops making something of it.
Turn it on.
Neck and neck.
Edges them out.
Oh, falling across the finish line. Next up, it's Lambton College against Carlsbad.
So here are the upstarts. These guys are the dark horses. We haven't seen them before. Carlsbad, New Mexico. Coming out of nowhere almost, in the sense that even though we've been there 7 times, it's the first time that they've had a team in a World Challenge.
And what about Lambton College?
Well, they're from Ontario, Canada, and this is a formal fire training academy. And they put this team together, and I'm telling you, these guys are here to play for real. They're
training these young men very well, I should say so. It's Lambton College in the blue course, Carlsbad on the red. A little bit of a stumble there. Lambton College in the blue. Couple of steps ahead. It's really tight. Now they caught up. It's even. Carlsbad trying to get an edge.
Oh!
Half a step close.
That's toast for Carlsbad. You saw him drop the baton. Man.
And now Lambton College gonna win outright. The college boys upset Carlsbad even with the penalty. Next up, it's Westminster on the blue course, Horry County on the red. And keep in mind, Westminster, they're the reigning champions.
That's right. Westminster, Colorado last year took it all. Horry County's here to stay.
It's amazing how fast. It's like the firefighters are defying gravity.
That's 42 pounds and 7 pounds of rope, Bob.
A little bit of a lead. Coming down the stairs.
Got to touch every one, including the last one. Good handoff. Stroke for stroke on the force machine.
Westminster made up some ground there. But again,
look at this.
Horry County. Oh, great handoff. Westminster about a step behind. And here we go. Oh, a little bit slow.
You know, the one thing you can't do, Bob, is let up if you got a penalty out there hanging, and you don't know. You're trying to be aware, but Horry takes the win.
And they fight him off. Great job beating the champs. In our next heat, over on the blue course, we have Oakville, and on the red, it's Bacanator.
No, Bob, it's Baconator.
Pardon me?
Baconator. They're sponsored by Wendy's of Fredericton, New Brunswick.
Baconator on the red course. I stand corrected, and I'm a little hungry. Oakville with an early lead, but only by a couple of steps.
You know, it's interesting. This thing seesaws back and forth. You know, you get a really strong hose puller. You got a great hoist guy, a great dummy dragger, and so this lead will change back and forth.
Get back even.
Yeah.
Paul, it appears that Baconator may have picked up a penalty.
They have. I mean, we got the red strobe blinking here, so they got to pick this thing up by 2 seconds.
So, but a team has to keep going. You can't falter because of it.
Absolutely not.
So Baconator facing a 2-second penalty. That means they've got to win this heat by more than 2 seconds.
That's right.
Can they do that? Finish 2 seconds ahead of Oakville.
Well, they got the lead. But 2 seconds is a lot of time to make up at this level of competition, and they don't.
Oakville the winner. Baconator fried because of the 2-second penalty. Well, it's obvious these guys are great competitors, but it's more than that, on and off the course.
Mike Word is the voice of the challenge. Mike, you travel with the challenge all year long. You know these contestants inside and out. What I've been hearing all week is camaraderie. Explain.
That's exactly what it is. These competitors from all over the world, a lot of times they only get to see each other right here at the World Finals. Even here in the U.S. Tour, the regional events, these folks only see each other right here at these events. And it is unreal to see the camaraderie that they have. The friendships that are garnered out here on this course are unbelievable. It truly is what the fire service is all about. It is awesome.
Well, it's amazing. They're out to compete. They're best friends before and after, except those 1.5 to 2 minutes on the course.
That's exactly right. Once they step onto those stop blocks up there and that siren goes off, all bets are off, all the friendships are over with. It's game on. It is nothing but absolute competition until they cross over that Scott safety finish line back there. And then it's back just like it was 2 minutes prior.
Well, that's what it's all about here at the challenge.
We have more action coming up next when it's the men's relays Final Four. The Scott Firefighter World Challenge 22 is brought to you by Scott Safety, a Tyco business, protecting what matters most. We're ready for the top 4 in the relays. That's Team Europe in the ready tent as they get set to go against Team Ori.
Well, this is going to be a tight race. I'm sure, Bob, these guys are getting better and better every time they run.
And Team Europe, you're right, because this is a team competition, even though they're an all-star group from Europe. Getting that cohesiveness is critical.
Well, you know, they don't have the exact tower that we do, and so they've been racing on scaffolding. So there is a little bit of a learning curve there. But, I mean, look at these guys go. Out of the tower first. It's a half a stairway lead.
So
keep in mind, you got to touch every one of the steps on the way down too, Bob. You know?
Every one, you can't just jump and catch up. But look at that, Team Ori on the Kaiser really made up some ground.
Well, they're going to have to make up a little bit more.
Couple of strides behind. And it's really close now.
Yeah,
that exchange was great for Team Ori.
There's Ori first on the dummy.
Really remarkable.
All you got to do is beat the opposing team. Time is not that important, unless you have a penalty.
And what a remarkable run, Team Ori. Next up, Lambton College, blue course, Oakville on the red course.
I don't think anybody expected Lambton was going to be here, at least nobody here in the United States. These guys are totally unknown to us.
One of their competitors that we are knowing is Ian Van Reenen. He is really a tremendous competitor, and his mirror image for Oakville is Sean Henderson. When a team has an anchor like that, you can really get some great things done in a relay.
Sure can. Look at this gap that's being opened up right now.
Lambton comes roaring out of the tower.
Boy, look at the lead that they've opened up here, Bob. I don't think anybody was expecting this.
You get a veteran team like Oakville, and they see these kids coming out and really putting it to them. It's amazing.
Well, they're definitely widening the gap. Nice handoff. I mean, both very experienced, obviously.
Lambton looks to get into the finals, and unless there's a mistake, They're well on their way.
Now there it goes, 175 pounds. Rescue Randy, a distance of 106 feet, making it look like a cruise.
Great technique. And Lambden is going to go on to the final. Oakville to the consolation. When we come back, we'll find out who wins the title of world champion for both the men and women. The Scott Firefighter World Challenge 22 is brought to you by Scott Safety.
Welcome back to the Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge. You know, Paul, in the relays, the intensity is unbelievable.
Well, you know, Bob, you only have to do 1/5 of the work so you can let it all hang out.
Let's get back to the action.
Let's begin with the women's final. And here we go. On the blue course, it's Team World Ladies. And on the red course, Fit by Fire. Paul, what is Team World Ladies?
It's an all-star team. We have 2 French female firefighters, 1 from Slovenia, 1 Canadian, 1 American.
Now, you would think that that would give them an advantage, and maybe it will in the end. Fit by Fire from Ontario, they only have 3 competitors, but 2 of them are 2 of the best ever.
Yeah, well, I think talent runs deep, and so that's hugely important.
It'll be interesting. It's like having an all-star basketball team, but on the other team, you got LeBron and Kobe.
Yeah, that'll probably tell the difference.
So who will win out?
Well, right now we've got pretty close competition.
Fit by Fire has a slight edge as they come out of the tower.
Got to touch each step on the way down. You can take multiple steps on the way up.
For the championship, Team World Ladies.
160-pound beam, got to drive it 5 feet.
Only about 2 strokes behind. Here comes Fit by Fire.
They're pulling together.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to make a race of it.
Fit by Fire quickly through the hydrants and to the hose.
All right, that's 3 sections, 50 feet each, of 1 3/4 hose. And when you get that stretched out, it's 240 pounds.
Fit by Fire has an edge to the dummy drag. No mistakes, they'll be tough to catch. The 3-person team beating the all-star team from around the world. And it's Fit by Fire to the finish line. Despite what appeared to be a handicap of only 3 individuals on their team, Fit by Fire made it work. Team World Ladies had 5 of the best in the world, but it wasn't good enough as they put their squad together here at the championships.
All right, Fit by Fire is the female, the ladies world champ. Only 3. A lot of people have 4 or 5. How'd you guys do it?
We just, you know, we have a pretty quick team here, so transitions, keeping it clean, and then just push each other throughout every station.
Well, Amber also holds the female individual title. Ladies, what do y'all learn from each other?
Honestly, she teaches me everything that I know right now. She's a great role model to look up to, and hopefully I'll be able to compete with her again someday.
And how does it feel? World champion!
Oh, I couldn't be happier. And like I said, this team, I'm so happy with it.
Well, the ladies world champion, 22 congratulations with only 3. Amazing.
Thank you.
Now, let's get back to the men's relays. This is for 3rd and 4th place. It's Oakville on the blue course. Team Europe is on the red course. Now, earlier in the event, it was Oakville beating Baconator with a very nice 1:12. If they can come close to equaling that, they may just be the favorite, because Team Europe's best time today was a 1:13 over Ori.
Now you're going to start seeing fatigue effect, Bob. 6 races, it starts to take its toll, especially roaring up those stairs, dragging that dummy.
What's interesting is Team Europe is really trying to make a name for themselves. They've never gone this far ever before.
No, this is surprising a lot of people. Here they are duking it out for 3rd place.
It's Oakville on the blue, Europe on the red, and Europe looks like they're ready to make another move.
I think I see a red light here. I think there's a penalty.
Oh.
The strobe light's on. It's 2-second penalty.
So that would mean Team Europe would have to win by more than 2 seconds to take 3rd place. They're across the finish line, but it won't be enough. Oakville finishes in 3rd place, and now we're set up for the championship. Team Ori on the blue course. The upstarts from Lambton College on the red course. And here we go.
Look, Lambton's pulling ahead. I don't think Ori County thought this was going to happen. Look at that pull. Look at that pull. That's almost 50 pounds, Bob.
They're more than precocious. They're ridiculous. How do these kids do it?
Yeah, the nerve. Can you imagine? Bob, keep in mind, Ori County is missing one of their big horses, and this might make the difference in the final analysis.
Everybody has to deal with injuries, but losing one of your main guys here for the championship is very tough.
No doubt about it.
So we'll see if that handicap indeed makes a difference. And the way Lambton College is running this course, there might not be anything that would make a difference.
Well, that's possible. But look at Ori. They're closing up on it. Let's see if they can close this gap. No mistakes. Clean run, Bob.
And it would almost take a mistake now.
Oh, yeah. This is where you just don't want to fall down. 175 pounds, that hurts.
Three-step difference, but it's going to be Lambton College. The kids have done it. The kids are the champions. 1:12:01, their final time to be the relay champion.
Bob, the JV just knocked off the varsity.
First time here in a world championship for Lambton. How are you feeling?
It feels amazing to achieve what we did. You know, everyone here helped us out. We're happy to be here.
And you took off like a bullet.
Well, if these guys can keep it up, I better keep it up too, right? So it's just awesome to be out here with the guys.
Well, a huge congratulations. First time here, first world championship. We will be seeing more of this team.
So there are the relay winners, Lambton College and Fit by Fire. That'll do it from Las Vegas. For Dr. Paul Davis and Maria Prekagis and our entire CBS Sports Network crew, I'm Bob Ramsey. For scores, highlights, features, and more, go to cbssports.com. In association with On Target Productions, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.